I'm just going to set this over at the sanctuary and I'll come back. My daughter was only a year old when I first met Tessa. Every single day at the same time, I would pack up a snack picnic and push the stroller down a forest trail to a pond I discovered in the back field of our home in Ontario. One random day, a dog showed up. She was timid but friendly and seemed to enjoy the trail. I assumed that she lived close by, and I was right. She belonged to a farm yonder from our home. That day, I stopped and explained to her owners that she followed me through the field, and I just can't stop her from leaving the yard. And the owner basically exclaimed, "She's all right, she loves walks," and waved me off. So every day at the same time for weeks on end, Tessa joined Eva and I for nature strolls. She would wait by the tree on her property and watch for us, and every day I looked forward to seeing her. One sporadic morning, Eva was not feeling the greatest, so I decided to skip our walk that day, and I remember thinking about Tessa waiting by her tree with her sad eyes watching for us. When lo and behold, I look up, and there she was, sitting at our door. I panicked a little, but was so glad to see her. Eventually she went home, but not before basking in the sun on our deck for hours. Then, the very next morning, she was back at our door, laying there, sleeping. And from that day on, she would not leave my side. I tried to talk to her owners, and it was just no good. They blamed me for feeding her, and I can put a hand on a Bible right now and tell you that she would not even take a Cheerio from me. There was no hidden agenda, no sneaky treats to keep her with me. If anything, I just ignored her and gave her some ear scratches here and there, but truth is, Tessa didn't even like to cuddle. I didn't let her in the house. She just wanted to be with me, at my side, and if she couldn't be at my side, she would lay down at the door where she last saw me. That's it. So I asked the owners if there was any way they could keep her home, and they sort of angrily said no, that she'd always been free to roam, and in 6 years she had never left their property. They blamed me for walking past their house every day. I tried to take Tessa home over and over, but she wouldn't have it. Her owners even came by to scare her home a few times, using a broom to coax her, which really hurt my soul. I couldn't even watch, actually. But it didn't work, and her owners eventually just gave up on her and then got another dog. Winter approached, and one day I woke up in the middle of the night to find her buried under a foot of snow sleeping at our door, and that was it. My heart officially broke for her, and I brought her in the house. She curled up beside my bed, took a deep sigh, and for the next half of her life, she was my shadow, my best friend, my dearest and loyal companion for 6 years. I've had a lot of dogs in my life, and they all hold a treasured place in my heart forever. All my pets are buried on our land in Ontario. We have a small pet cemetery there with cats and dogs, rabbits, birds, frogs, lizards, and chickens. The thing with Tessa, though, is that I didn't seek her out, nor did I choose her for my life. She chose me on her own, one random day on that trail. She died in her 13th year, and I just couldn't bring myself to bury her with the others. She's the only pet I've ever had cremated, and I take her ashes everywhere with me. Wherever I go, she goes, and my wish is that her ashes be mingled with mine someday to be scattered together. Tia was just a puppy when Tessa died, but I do believe Tessa gave Tia the gears before she left us. I imagine the chat went like this: "Take care of my lady, young one. Obey her every command. Don't leave her side and be your most loyal self. And if you do, she will love you with her whole heart, and you will have the dog life of your dreams. Tia, my darling Tia." It goes without saying that she will also be cremated. Her and Tessa and myself can cuddle together in eternity. In the meantime, and after a lengthy and careful consideration, I place some of Tessa's ashes at the sanctuary, a place where I escape the toxins of the world, a place where I can absorb nature and reminisce old memories while building new ones, a place of peace and refuge and serenity, a place where I hope to rest someday too. The little granite headstone represents all the animals I've ever loved, the ones buried in Ontario and the ones buried in my heart. And now they're a part of our life here too. Now it feels like home.
Heard you want to leave this place where we grew up. This old town, just put it all behind. Remember you and I would always find somewhere to hide when we were kids, so we could see and hear the water run. The river's gonna cry when you're gone. Here, hanging on, waiting for your call. Seems like time as a wave passing by, leave a mark in our minds to turn to memories. The river's gonna cry when you're gone, 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 gone. The river's gonna cry when you're gone, 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 gone. The river's gonna cry when you're gone, gone. River's gonna cry when you're. River's gonna cry when you're. River's gonna cry when you're gone. Hey, I was hoping you would stay, but I've always known that you would go and find your own way. I still see when we climbed up in those trees, 12 years old, to feel the wind and watch the river run. And the sun would always shine when we sat there, you and I. The river's gonna cry when you're gone, 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 gone. The river's gonna cry when you're gone, 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 gone. River's gonna cry when you're gone, 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 gone. River's gonna cry when you're. River's gonna cry when you're. River's gonna cry when you're gone. It's gonna cry, it's gonna cry. River's gonna cry when you're gone. It's gonna cry, it's gonna cry. Heard you want to leave this place where we grew up. This old town, just leave it all behind. The river's gonna cry when you're gone.
I woke up in the middle of the night. And I wondered how you're always right. It gets me. I couldn't see what you saw in me. Ooh, na na na. But you showed me how to believe. Still gets me. When I look back, I can see you're hiding, waiting for a moment you saw it coming. Oh, but I will love you for it all. Yeah, I will love you for it all.
The first selfie I ever took at the sanctuary when we arrived here a year ago. How ironic, I'm sitting exactly in the spot where I put Tessa's ashes, and I didn't even know that. We knew that this little spot here on our land was very special when we saw it, but I'm going to be honest with you, we had no idea that this stream or river or brook, whatever you want to call it, was even here until we got here. I mean, what are the chances? And I knew I was going to enjoy it all year long, and I did. If you've made it this far into the video, I want to thank you for joining me for Tessa's little memorial service today. I thought it was so sweet, and I actually feel so good having a little part of her down here at the sanctuary. I'm going to close out with the pan for today. I love you all. Ciao for now.